Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today we're talking about another top 10 of my favorite games from various companies, but we're going to be doing something slightly different here. Today we're talking about Thames Kosmos from Germany, although their games have recently started coming to America on a very high basis. Their games were sent to America, were originally bought over by Mayfair Games, and other companies have picked them up. But now Thames Kosmos brings their own games over to America. But I'm splitting Thames Kosmos up into two categories, and today we're talking about their bigger box games, large box style games, and then next time I'll talk about their smaller games, something that they're actually very, very famous for. And most of the time we just say Kosmos rather than Thames Kosmos. So here we go, my top 10 Kosmos big box games. So number 10 is Catan Geographies Germany. Now, the game that Kosmos is probably best known for, although this company now has split off, is Catan. Settlers of Catan. Now Catan is their own company. Well, they're owned by Asmodee now, but Kosmos originally had them, and there's a lot of Catan-style games, and many of them were close to making this list. Catan itself is a game that I don't play as much anymore, but Catan Geographies Germany is a really nice self-contained version of this game. It has really beautiful buildings, slightly different rules. If you've never played Catan before, this would be the one I would say, hey, you should play this first. And now, even as I'm talking about it, I think, hey, this is a game I should be putting in the Dice Tower library, so I guess I should hunt down a copy of it. Number 9 is Word Slam. This is a party-style game, and it's team versus team. The two teams versus each other. You have a bunch of cards, huge decks of cards, and you're giving clues to your team, but basically by only using these cards with words on them. And so you're just putting out a bunch of words, trying to get your team to guess a series of words. It works really well. It is kind of funny as you're frantically searching for the right words to give out for clues. Number 8 is My City. This is a roll and write style game. Actually, not roll and write because you're actually placing buildings, but it is a legacy game. And so by that I mean you're rolling some dice, or not rolling dice, I'm sorry, you're flipping cards. So the roll and write thing is actually doesn't make any sense since you're flipping and placing, but it's in that genre. So you flip cards, you're going to be placing buildings. How you place buildings will score points. You'll be adding stickers to your board and changing it as it goes through. I don't know if you want to play the entire Legacy experience because it's a lot of playing the same game over and over, but it is a neat entry into this genre and it's pretty easy to get into. Number 7 is North Wind. Now, North Wind is a game that most people haven't played. It's a pirate-style game. It is based on it is a reworking of Starfarers of Catan, which was a two-player version of Starfarers of Catan. I'm sorry, the Starship Catan. So let me restart here. North Wind is a 4-player version of a 2-player game called Starship Catan, which is a 2-player small box version of Starfarers of Catan, which is a space version of Catan. Are you confused yet? Don't worry about it. Northwind, simple game. You are upgrading your pirate ship and you are going out in the seas, searching for things, trading back and forth. It's pretty well done. It's a little long at 4. I think it might be best with 2 or 3 players, but it's certainly one to check out. Number 6 is Ingenious. Ingenious, the game, this is another Reiner Knizia game. This one here, you're placing out hexagonal tiles on the board, and you're just putting them next to other colors. And when you put tiles down next to colors, you get a lot of points based on the group of that color. But you also are trying to score all your colors because your lowest color is your score at the end of the game. Very simple, abstract game. If you like dominoes, you'll probably really enjoy this one. Number 5 is the game I've played the most on this list because it's so very short and so easy to play, and that is Drop It. I just taught this game recently to some people. This has a bunch of geometric shapes that you then drop down this little glass thing, and they're landing there. If they land next to other shapes of the same color or shape, they don't score you any points. And otherwise, they're going to score you points on basically how high they are, or maybe there's a couple other bonus ways to get points. Very simple game. Take a piece, drop it. But man, people really like it. I remember one time I was at a convention, homeschool convention, demoing this off to parents, and just was constantly in play because it's such an easy game to jump into and learn about. Number 4, I've already mentioned way back at the beginning, and that's Starfarers of Catan. So Catan, Settlers of Catan, very popular game where you roll dice and build settlements and cities, and there's a lot of expansions. I do have a soft spot for Starfarers of Catan. This is a much bigger game because you actually have little spaceships that you move out on the board, and you'll be dropping off these settlements and cities, or whatever they're called in this game, and then you meet aliens. There's an encounters thing. You might meet pirates. You have this really cool 3D ship that you're upgrading with both guns and engines and rings. It's really cool looking. It's a smidge too long, but man, it's so much better than Catan, in my opinion. Starfarers of Catan. Number 3 is one of a series of games Kosmos did from books, and this is the only one of the series that's made my list, and that's Pillars of the Earth. They made this is part of a trilogy of games, actually, and this is the first. The second was okay, the third was meh, but the first here, Pillars of the Earth, where you're building a giant cathedral, and you are hiring workers and getting the materials to do so, is really well done. It's a cool worker placement game as you pull workers from a bag, so whoever's worker you pull first gets to go first. Cool, right? Not fair, but also you pay more money when you come out first. So there's some really neat ideas. It's very well done and still holds up more than a decade later. Number 2 is Imhotep. This is a very simple game about building monuments in Egypt. And you do this by taking these big chunky cubes of stone and wood and black cubes anyway. You're putting them in boats and then sending these boats off and building obelisks and a pyramid. And you actually do build the things with the blocks. It's very, very thematic, I think. And it's also very simple and offers a lot of interesting, fun decisions. Kind of, do I add something to a boat, or do I make the boat move and drop off the cubes? Very simple, fun. I like it a lot, Imhotep. And number 1 is designed by Klaus Teuber, who also designed Catan. So he has, I think, 3 games on this list here, and that is Domain. Domain is a game that I really wish they would reprint. I still think it's a fantastic area control game. In this game, you are building little kingdoms, and you have these walls between your kingdoms that you are building, and the more you build, the bigger your kingdom gets, so your kingdom starts butting up against other people's kingdoms, and then you're fighting back and forth with a very simple play a card, paying money for it, or discarding a card, getting money for it. Very simple concept, easy, nice components. This one I think is almost 20 years old now, and I still think it is a fantastic, marvelous game. Now, like I said, there's a lot of great games in the Kosmos 2-player line and other small games they've come out with. I'll talk about that next time, but these are my favorite big box Kosmos games. Let me know what yours are in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the best of Thames and Kosmos big box games on the Dice Tower.